Welcome to another Entertainment Roundup. I'm J77, and today I'm going to be talking about the Triple Crown. Finally have one, the first time in God knows how long, and a lot of other stories that has recently been developing, not in the last few days, but also in the last few weeks, even months. I'm talking about the Bruce Jenner tabloid fiasco that I consider to be very overrated, and I'll give you my reasons why, as well as some few things that's going on in the entertainment world. Some shocking news, if you want to call it shocking. Wolverine, um, the star who plays him, may be playing him for the very last time. We'll get to that shortly. But first, let's talk about the Triple Crown because that is something that has been flooding the news in terms of sports news lately. As you heard, American Pharaoh have joined the elite club of horses who have won not once, not twice, but three consecutive times, earned himself the Triple Crown. It is the first Triple Crown winner since 1978, I believe. And my feeling towards this is very much simple. I'm not a horse racing fan. I only reason why I listen to people who talk about horse racing is when they have the big three, which we just recently have. The Belmont is obviously one. The Preakness is actually another one. I forgot what's the other one. That's slipping over my mind. But the point is, it is something that each and every year, the sportscasters, sports announcers, news radios, you name it, those who are very, very deep into the sporting world talks about on a constant basis. It's almost like an honor for a horse to win not once, not twice, but three times in a row. And I know a lot of people say, "What's the big deal about it?" I even say myself, "What's the big deal about it?" But when you stop and think about it, it is not an easy feat winning one horse race, let alone three big ones back to back to back. It's very, very difficult. It's almost near impossible, and that's one of the main reasons why it took 30 some odd years to get a Triple Crown winner. Now they have a timetable here, and I'm looking at the timetable of all the horses who have won. Dating all the way back to the last one, and it's very, very interesting. In 1919, we had Sir Burton. He was the American's first Triple Crown winner. Sir Burton will go on to win only 13 of the 31 races he started in his career. They also said that he retired and virtually forgotten by the American public to Berryville, Virginia, to stud before being sold to a racer in Douglas. The horse had passed away. He actually lived a long time. He actually won it in 1919. He died in 1937. That's a long, long lifespan. I don't know how long the lifespan is for a horse, but to me that's very, very long for a horse to actually live for a life. So he had a long, prosperous life. In 1930, I believe his name is Gellert Fox. So keep that in mind, folks. 1919 was the first Triple Crown winner. They didn't have another one at that timeline until 1930. 1919, 1930. He just Fox started 17 times, won 11 times. Fox bred successfully for 22 years, becoming the first Triple Crown winner to stir the second generation champions. In Sun Omaha. He retired to, I believe, Claiborne Farm. I hope I'm saying Claiborne Farm in Paris, Kentucky. And he passed away in 1954. So that was the second one. Third one was Omaha. That's what they just talked about here. And he won it in 1935. Passed away in 1959. War Admiral, which I actually kind of like that name, was the fourth Triple Crown winner. He won it in 1937. So if you guys can go, I believe, to the dailynews.com, you'll see these timelines from there. They actually have it there, and actually have brief details of the horses, and especially the age where they finally passed away. 1941 would be the next Triple Crown winner. Worldway, I believe they call him. He won in 1941. 1943, not too long from there, we had Count Feet, 1943 Triple Crown winner. Assault was the 1946 Triple Crown winner. He won it there for a while. And Clintation, I believe, Citation, sorry, 1948 Triple Crown winner. Um, we had also had the another Triple Crown winner, Scarlett Trent. I'm just gonna spell his name because it's the name that is pretty much too long. And it was there's a big Sunday's edition paper they show on here. It's 25 cents back in the days. I wish that was the papers right now, but unfortunately we spend 125 and price inflation. You know how it is. He won in 1973, so again, there's another big gap there. 1948 through 1973, there had not been a Triple Crown winner, but that was the big one right there. 1973, he became the first Triple Crown winner in 25 years. It was a big deal because they showed the paper from there. Seattle Stew, I believe they call it, 1977. And this was actually the year where they had back-to-back Triple Crown winners. The last time that actually ever happened. The first time and only time that actually ever happened. Earning more than $1 million in his decorated career, Seattle Stew remained the only horse to win a Triple Crown winner while undefeated. He was the nation's leading share in 1984, producing 12% stake winner in total. He retired in a clumsy form before dying in 1981. So he didn't have a long life jeopardy. That's kind of surprising. He raced in 1977, died in 1981. We don't know the age between him racing career and now, but it's not really much of a long one. Not at least a lot of other ones because they seem like they have survived. Keep in mind, you have Clyde Citation, which died in 1970. He was racing in the 40s, so that's kind of interesting that happened. The last one before American Pharoah, Affirm, I believe I'm saying Affirmed. That was the last Triple Crown winner from to this day. He have won it in 1978. Like I said, they was Seattle Saw, and this horse became the first back to have given us the first back-to-back Triple Crown. The nation's last Triple Crown winner with an 18-year-old aboard. Shalavan, now 55, was Belmont Park Saturday, ending his career in 1979 with 22 first-place finish and 29 starts. Wow, and he earned a $1,148,800 earning. He shared a dozen championship horses in his later career. And talking about the cattle, in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, he's talking about the guy who raced the horses. And the horse, he died at the age of 26 in 2001. So he raced in 1978, died in 2001. Sad to hear that. And like I said before, that was the last one. And since then, from 1978 to 2015, we have not seen a Triple Crown. We came close, but not close enough to actually say that we have a Triple Crown winner until now. So, again, and by the way, the horse that won 1973, Scarlett Trent, I believe, Secretariat. Hopefully you guys can make a response video and give me the right name. Scream at me if you want to, because these names, they don't give them very easy names. They really don't. They don't give them easy names to understand. Citation is easy to understand. Assault, Worldway, Court Fleet. These are names I can actually get because Court Fleet is not one bundle up together. Warhammer was actually I like the name. I actually like that name. I kind of wonder because I know there's a lot of them have those military names. Kind of makes me wondering who actually owns these horses and what ties they have towards the military. Sometimes, maybe someone who is an expert on historian horse racing can tell me that. But it's kind of interesting. But in every case, this was one that a lot of people were looking forward to. A lot of people actually was kind of not happy with the Belmont because they actually limited the seatings for this event by either raising prices or pretty much cutting down the season half, and that's largely because they couldn't handle the massive crowd, and they actually admitted that that was one of the main reasons. But it is a big, big feat nonetheless, and it is something that a lot of people are very happy, especially those who live and die through the races. They was very, very pleased to see um, that this has actually happened. I found out about it pretty much yesterday as I was going over some work on my own about what was about that in the news. I got it over news feed, and they said that he actually did it. He pulled it off. So a lot of people was very, very happy. There was some people who were doubtful because of how hard it is to win a triple crown. It is not an easy feat. You're asking the horse to win it 3 straight times, and even though we have came close before, the third race, and always seemed to be the third race, is where the horse seems to finally run out of gas and they don't have any much left in the tank. I do find one thing interesting about these horse races, that once the horse race and once that name pumps out, you don't hear from that horse again. Even those who have won, you don't hear from that horse again. You don't. It's almost like once they have achieved that kind of feat, or once they came close to that kind of feat, you'll never see them race in those major races again. You don't even hear. Like, for instance, who remembers the horse last year, or the year after that, or the year after that? You don't remember him. I don't have no knowledge of of this horse, and that's largely because he's not in the spotlight anymore. It seemed like once they won it, that's it. They don't they don't race them and that again. I don't know if that's a rule or if that's something that they have made up on the fly. It's just very, very weird how that always happened. And got news for you. It's going to happen again because we have this horse, American Pharaoh. I guarantee you she's not going to race again. You're never going to hear that name again. We're going to celebrate this moment. We're going to, relish in this moment. He's going to be immortalized as one of the great horses who have done it. And after then, he's going to disappear. You're never going to hear from him again. And the cycle will start all over again. Who's going to be the next Triple Crown winner? That seemed to be the thing. It's kind of sad because you're kind of wondering, and like I said, you kind of wonder how these horses do afterwards. But again, that is the way the business is, and you only hope, because so far I haven't heard anything negative about the horses being abused or anything else, and they seem to live out their final days comfortably, in a nice farm somewhere where they don't have to be bothered or have to be scrutinized by the media. Not that I think they care or even notice. So congratulations to American Pharaoh. Congratulations to Belmont. They finally got one, and for at least for a week and a half, we're going to be hearing, ESPN, News Radio, WFAN, sports analysis. We're talking about this, analyzing it to death, and we're just going to accept it. But then again, we got the NBA playoffs, which a lot of people will probably pay more attention to than hearing about horse racing. Today will be the big day where the Cavs have to tie the series. They cannot go down 2-0. They cannot go down 2-0. I'm kind of interested to see if they can do it. I'm hoping for a way better series than I saw during the Eastern Conference and Western Conference. That was just horrible. It was just not even. The NHL had a 10 times better series than the NBA did, and I'm hoping that will change with the finals. But like I said, game one, no complaints. They gave us our money's worth. They really gave us a classic series, at least a classic game one at least, and I'm hoping for more of that as we go down the stretch. Now let's get on to Bruce Jenner. If you guys have not heard, I might as well correct myself, is on the cover of, I think, Vanity Fair magazine. Meet Kali, I believe. Again, if you want to correct me, be my guest. I have been following this for quite some time. Cannot avoid it. It's on every last tabloid papers. News has been covering it. It has become quite a circus, and I say that very loosely, and I say that without being disrespectful towards the Jenner family or the Kardashians for that matter. I'm gonna just call it like it is. When I saw the picture, I just shrugged my shoulders and that's it. I didn't really care. I hadn't even cared when the announcement that he was turning himself into a woman. I didn't. It doesn't bother me. Um, what bothers me was the fact that they're making him more famous or making her more famous than that person needs to be. I got to keep it real. I think the media is blowing this way, way out of proportion. I'm not even, I'm not a fan of Kardashians. I made that be very clear. I got nothing against the family. I have nothing against what he's doing. I have nothing against about his decision making. That is his life, his decision. If he feels comfortable, if he feels that this is what he wants to be, so be it. I'm not going to go nuts. I don't even care what's Pistol Palin. I know she made some comments. It wouldn't surprise me if she made some comments. I know it was something to do with an award that they want to dedicate to someone on his honor. I don't know what it was. I do know she made a comment. I haven't seen the comment. I can't take anything out, but it wouldn't surprise me if some people who are that against what he's doing speak out in contempt. I'm not speaking out in contempt. I'm just speaking out as the person who's saying, what's the big damn deal? What really? I mean, okay, he had a sex change. So what? Sex change has been going on since the 70s. They even had TV specials on it in terms of tolerance and acceptance. I don't have a problem with what he's doing. I have a problem is that out of all the people who had sex change, he's the one, because of his name and his connections towards another family, he's getting a TV deal. We don't need to follow his life. I don't care about what he does after that. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see a TV show dedicated to what he's doing. Are you telling me what he's doing is 10 times special than the people who've done sex changes? And there's a lot of sex changes that goes on in this country every day. There's probably a dozen sex changes in New York City alone. There's probably thousands of sex changes across the country. We're going to focus on him because of his ties towards the family, which, by the way, I don't know if anybody noticed, at least in the tabloids, they don't really care much about no more. I didn't care about, Kim Kardashian's, announcement that she is due to expect. I didn't care about that. I know she tweeted. I know Twitter had to confirm that was actually her. But my point is that it's like you're making him more than what it really need to be. Okay, report it. Fine. You want to report that he wants to be a woman. Okay. You're going to give him a reality show based on it now? We're going to follow him based on that situation? I don't understand that concept there. And again, I'm going to make this very clear. I don't care about his sex change. I really don't. That is his decision. I'm not judging him on that. I'm not criticizing him on that. I'm not even criticizing him on the fact that he's getting a TV show. What I'm criticizing is that they seem like the media, as well as the entertainment world in general, seems to pick and choose who they want to make famous on, and for reasons that it shouldn't be. Him having a sex change should not be a reason why he should become a phenomenal star now. I'm just keeping it real. That's not a reason. And it goes the same with the Kardashians in many ways, because a lot of people, including myself, felt that she got famous for all the wrong reasons. This is one of the main reasons why I don't think he should be famous for. Now, if he has talent, he has something to deliver, he has a gift, fine. But to me, giving him a reality show because of his sex change is not a reason why they make the man famous. Or the woman, in this case. And that's where it bothered me, because when I heard the announcement, I was like, wait a minute, why is he getting a TV show? For what? For something that thousands of people do across the country each and every day? How come they don't get no reality show? How come we don't report about their lives? And how come we don't, follow them and what they go through every day? Normal people. Living normal lives, dealing with serious situations because of decisions they make. How come we don't follow them? Why we got to follow Jenner? Why pick on just one individual? Because in reality, because in all due respect, it's not really my reality. Nor was the Kardashians. There's nothing about their show that represents what I go through on a day-to-day basis. Nothing. And the same thing is going to go with Kylie, I hope I'm saying the name right, Jenner. And I'm not blaming him. He's not the one that's making this a major parade. It really is the media. The media zoomed in on what he was doing, and they locked in. And with tabloids, when they smell dirt of any kind, they're going to lock it in and milk it for every money it's worth. But I feel that if you're going to make the man a reality star, or a woman a reality star, or anyone a reality star, it better be for the right reasons. If you're going to make someone a star, period, it got to be for the right reason. Not because of what he has done, which everybody is doing. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't say everybody. What millions of people or thousands of people is doing across the world every single day. He's not the only one. Sex change has been going on since the 1970s. We had TV shows or PSA specials on the topic. So again, that's what bothers me about the whole thing. It's not as much as what Jenner is doing. God bless him. If he feels at peace with what he's doing and feel that what he's doing is his decision, no one else's, and he's happy with what he is and he found himself, God bless him. But he's not doing anything different than what other people have done in the past or right now. And that's why I didn't really bother reporting on it, because to me it's really nothing to report. All right, he wants to have a sex change. One of the Kardashian brothers had one too. What's the big deal? They're famous. They don't even, and that's been kept in a minuscule light. Nobody reported on that too much. They didn't. Okay, he's turned himself to a woman, and that was just about it. This is a major circus. They got blown up more than I think they should. You guys may disagree. Of course, you guys feel free to talk about it. You guys feel free to voice your own opinion about it. But that's just my feeling on the matter. That's just what I feel about. I just don't get it. This is me. All right, for those in the movie world, if you guys been following Twitter, if you guys been following the news feed lately, Wolverine may have a new face in the future, or they may just reboot the series, depending on what the powers that be may go for here. Wolverine, which was played forever by Hugh Jackman, may finally retire the role after Wolverine 3. Yes, there will be a Wolverine 3. It's pretty much been inedible, sorry. Still probably saying that wrong. But in any case, there has been reports, there has been very, very confirming reports that Hugh Jackman indeed will be stepping away from the role that he has made famous. And to be fair, it made him famous as well. This comes not really as a surprise, but as a worry now. Because his face is so ingrained in that character. It's like Robert Englund with Fred Krueger. Even though we finally had someone playing him, there is that look. There is that imprint of Robert Englund's face that you just can't escape. I mean, he is forever known as Fred Krueger. And the character of Fred Krueger is forever imprinted through Robert Englund's facial structure. No matter what they do to make him look different, people always going to see Robert Englund. They won't see nobody else. If you put a different mask on that person and you try to structure this person to a different character, they will not see it. Nothing against Jackie L. Hurl. I think he did a great job. The movie was bad, but I think he did a great job. But you can't really replace an image as easy as many people, many stars, many Hollywood producers think it is. And Wolverine is going to be one of those characters. This character has been out in the 90s, and he played it all the way through here. Again, I don't know what his role is going to be in Apocalypse. I do know that Wolverine 3 is definitely in the works. And I'm kind of curious on how Wolverine 3 is going to be played out. I gotta say, what made the X-Men films for me was Gene Hackman, Hugh Hackman. He was the reason why I went to see the X-Men movie. He was the reason why I actually stayed with the X-Men franchise, and he pretty much evolved throughout the character. He's one of those characters, one of the very few in comic history that evolved through time. He never stayed the same character. His character development was so well done that it's almost impossible to start over with the same storyline. In fact, I wouldn't recommend they do start over with the same storyline and start something fresh and new. Um, I know a lot of people is like, going like, oh, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna do a Wolverine without him? I think that's gonna be very hard. I think they're gonna have to wait a few years. And I mean, I didn't say a few years. I mean, 5 or 6. I don't see them making a film 3 years later and expect this guy is Wolverine. He needs to be Wolverine. Not gonna be that simple. Again, Hugh Hackman have done a hell of a job with that character. Even with the bad films he has been in, with the Wolverine, X-Men Origin Wolverine, and the Wolverine he had done. Even though it wasn't technically terrible, it was still not a good film. He was good in it. He carried that role. It's the same way he carried the first X-Men movie, and I don't know if another actor can actually fill that role as he can. I mean, it may take it may take a good minute before we can find that character to say, yeah, this is a character that can do it. This is the character we need to have play the role. It's going to be very, very hard. Very hard. So, for those who are hearing this now, yeah, we're going to have a new Wolverine soon in the near future. We shouldn't be too surprised because he did play it for a long time. I was actually surprised he didn't retire the role with X-Men First Class. I'm surprised he didn't retire after that. But he did sign on. He did another Wolverine film. He was definitely a big part of the X-Men Days of Future Past. And with the key, he may be have some kind of a role in Apocalypse. And they're gonna give him a send off in X-Men's Wolverine 3. Hopefully they give him a good script, please. The man deserves a good script. The man deserves a good send-off. Don't ruin his final performance as Wolverine. I want to see him go all out in that one. You guys have held this character back too long. Give him a script that will definitely be worth, not his while, but everybody's while when they see him play this role for the last time. And for Hugh Jackman, when I gotta say this, thank you for playing that character. You really, really gave life to a character, and actually gave this character more further popularity than what it had when he was just in the comic books and in the cartoon show. So, thank you very much. I'm going to return back to sports a little bit serious here. As you guys have not heard, especially if you're not in the Boston area, there was an incident that happened in a Red Sox game. A woman got seriously hurt. A fragment of a baseball bat hit her in the face. I seen the pictures yesterday, and I just like, oh man, I hope she pulled through, because reports was coming out all over the news wave, not just in the sports wave, but all over the news wave, that it was life threatening, and the image of I believe she was 12, a 12-year-old girl getting hit over the head with a hockey puck, popped in my image automatically. I would never get that off my mind. She was in a hockey game. The puck flew out of the arena. It hit her square in the head. It was pretty much direct contact. She never regained conscience. She passed away in the hospital. That's something that came to mind. Thankfully, the police department in Massachusetts, Boston, have announced that she will survive. She did sustain some serious injuries, but she is expected to pull through. I'll say this: the sporting world was very, very worried. Everybody was worried. Don't think that these athletes doesn't have that in their mind, especially when they realize that what they accidentally cause could cost the life of someone else. Baseball, especially, is the most dangerous atmosphere uh, for a spectator to watch because the ball does fly out. Sometimes they fly slowly. Sometimes they get hit with such force that you just forget about trying to catch it. Get the hell out the way. And it's almost impossible because you're crammed in with a lot of people, and you got to really be alert. This is one of the reasons why I make it my business not to have my cell phone on if I ever go to a baseball game or any kind of sporting activity where the ball could actually fly out of the arena, of the stadium, because you need to be alert. You need to be cautious. You need to know where that ball is at all times because when it comes to baseball, the bat hits. That's it. I mean, it's going somewhere. You need to make sure where it's going and not heading your direction. A couple of balls came to my direction. Luckily, none of them hit me. I was trying to catch one. That did not happen. It did. A couple of people caught it. A couple of people rushed caught it in their buckets. It's amazing how people want chasing after those balls when they don't catch it. Even though the old stadiums, I don't know about the new stadiums yet. I haven't been to that games yet. But when the old stadiums, you don't really want to run, especially when the seats are at a downward angle. Because if you chase after too fast, you're going to be falling, and next thing you know, you may end up being the lower tiers instead of the upper tiers. So I always make my business not to try and chase those balls, especially if I'm way up in the upper tiers. And I think I was in field level one time. Even then, I don't want to mess around with chasing those balls because it can be very, very dangerous. You can actually get stepped on. Unintentionally by another person trying to go after those balls, and that's another thing you have to be careful. But in terms of trying to keep a sharp eye, yeah, you want to keep a sharp eye on what's going on around you. Again, accidents happen. This was not done on purpose. This stuff does happen. Unfortunately, there were pictures of a man getting hit with a ball. They actually got that in slow motion, and this is like there was a girl on one side, a small girl with her hands up, another person, looking at the guy, and that thing hit his jaw. I mean, I thought his jaw was broken because it was like his whole entire skin was trying to come out of his face. That's how dangerous and that's how painful and deadly some of those objects can come out to. You think they're not going at a fast rate, but when you see it live, you see, oh, this is real. Well, you got to pay attention. You got to know what's behind it. So that's why falling asleep or having your Walkman on, or having anything else there, firstly, I can't, see if you're paying $60 or $100 for a seat, how you can pay attention to something else other than baseball. I pay a lot of money. I'm going to follow this game from the beginning to end. But there are people who are just there just to be there. So, but at least if you're going to be there, pay attention, know what's around you, know what's going on, because it takes 2 seconds for an accident to happen like that, and that's exactly what has happened here. I'm glad that the woman is going to survive. Again, news media have said all over the place that she had life-threatening injuries, and I'm saying, oh, please pull through. Please pull through. We don't need that. Please pull through. But luckily, the reports came back and said that she's going to be okay. She's going to survive it. And that's all you can pretty much ask for in that time that that she survived. But she's gonna be hurt for a while, and hopefully Boston, the Red Sox, will accommodate for her medical bills. The least they can do is to cover most of her medical bills. But that time will tell. I think they will. But again, just be mindful. Especially a sport where the ball is constantly flying all over the place. Just be mindful. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. You guys have any comments about what I just talked about, leave it in the comment section below. If you've got any stories that you want me to talk about in the next couple of weeks, please leave it down below. Want to note the J&J Sundays, or J&J Mondays on a Sunday will return next week on its regular time. Jessica, of course, is spending time with her family on vacation. I decided to just, wait until she comes back. It's the least I can do. And she will be back. But she will be back next week. So those who are listening this on a Sunday and surprised it's not on the program on a Monday, that's why. But until then, guys, this is J77 saying take care, be safe, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.